Hello everyone and welcome to Cinderful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the grey. Today's video we're going to talk start collecting Warhammer 40,000, and today we're going to take a look at the Thousand Suns Combat Patrol box set and see how we can use it to start a Thousand Suns army for Warhammer 40k. In this video, we're going to go through the contents of the box set, talk about what all of these units do inside the box set and how we can use them on the tabletop. We'll then take a look at some other units we can bring into our force to expand upon this initial box set purchase, and finally finish off the video by showing you a sample 1000 point army list for you to use as some inspiration to build your own Thousand Suns army, or indeed copy our army list if that's what you wish to do. And so, everything inside this box set, where do we start? Well, first of all, we have a HQ option in the Infernal Master. He's got some pretty cool things. First of all, he's Psyker like many of the models inside this army, and he's got the Infernal Master ability where if this model knows 2 pacts from Infernal Pacts in your command phase, this model is on the battlefield, you can attempt to make 1 pact it knows that has not already been attempted by a friendly model that battle round. You roll a d6 on a 3+, the pact is successful. Pretty cool stuff there. On top of this, he's pretty stock standard for a marine sort of caster. He's going to be able to pick 1 psychic power. He's got weapon skill plus skill 3+, strength and toughness of wounds 4, 4 attacks, leadership 9, and a 3-up save. He's obviously got his Inferno Bolt Pistol. He's 4 stave for +3 strength, -1 AP, damage D3. And what's pretty cool about him as well is he's just a nice, cheap-ish Psyker to add into your force. Now alongside him we have the Scarab Occult Terminators. These are elite Terminators for the Thousand Suns. You've got the cool All is Dust rule, where each time an attack with a damage characteristic of 1 is allocated to a model in this unit, add 1 to any armor saving throws made against the attack. In addition, models in this unit do not suffer the penalty to hit rolls incurred from firing heavy weapons in the same turn they have moved. Arcane Automata allows them to, each time a morale test is taken with this unit, they automatically pass it, and they can also teleport strike, and meaning they can drop 9 inch away from enemy units out of reserves. And Terminator Armor as well will give them a nice 5+ invulnerable save. The leader of this unit, this Scarab Occult Sorcerer, is going to be a Psyker, so going to be able to take some cool psychic powers. And you've got a bunch of different weapons. You can have Hellfire Missile Racks on them for a heavy 2, strength 8, -2 AP, damage D3 weapon. Combi Bolters, you've got the Prospero and Kopeshes on them, and you've also got the ability to take Soul Reaper Cannons, which are a 24-inch range, heavy 5, strength 6, -3 AP, damage 1 weapon. Really good at putting some damage and hurt out into other Marines or heavily armoured troops. Now, the bulk of this box set is made up by Zangors, and you do get the regular Zangor kit plus upgrade sprues, enough to upgrade all your Zangors to the 40k variant to have auto pistols and chain blades if that's what you wish to do. And generally, I sort of like that, getting a little bit of shooting. Zangor are pretty cheap, and you can take a couple of extra upgrades for them in the form of Brayhorns and Herd Banners. Brayhorns give you +1 to advance and charge rolls, and Herd Banners allow you to reroll any failed morale tests. Auto pistols and chainswords, nothing really too great to write home about there. Pretty stock standard. Auto pistols, strength 3 pistols, no AP and damage 1, and no AP and damage 1 on the chainswords as well. You do get a attack per model, and you get to make an additional attack with your chainsword, so pretty nice stuff. They can pack out a decent amount of attacks. But all in all, there's not too much to write home about Zangors. They're nice, cheap infantry that can bulk up the numbers and provide some objective grabbers and also some screens and some harassing pieces for your force. And so, where do we look to expand upon that initial box set? Well, we've got the Scarab Occult Terminator, so what about a character to potentially join them? And this could be the Sorcerer in Terminator Armor. Because he's got Terminator Armor, he's going to have the Teleport Strike ability, he's going to get Terminator Armor for his 5-up invulnerable and a 2-up save. There's some really cool upgrades you can put on this model, picking a bunch of different sort of upgrades on what your model is. I particularly like Battle Psyker, where he gets to change his weapon skill and ballistic skill to 2+, and also get an attack characteristic of 5, meaning that 4 stave with +3 strength, AP -1, damage D3, he's going to do some serious work for the force. He can take a variety of different shooting weapons, and he can also choose to change out his 4 stave for a force axe if he so wishes to. But all in all, he's just a nice, great addition to go alongside those Occult Terminators, bring him down with the character, and provide some good abilities to him. And so, looking at other units we can bring in, Rubric Marines, I think, are a great one. Like how we've added the Terminator character to our Terminator unit, we could add a normal power armored unit to our Infernal Master. Rubric Marines have the All is Dust, Arcane Automata, abilities that we mentioned on the Occult Terminators, where they automatically pass morale tests and they get some bonuses against damage 1 attacks, and they don't suffer any penalties for heavy weapons. They can take a variety of different upgrades. First of all, like the Icon of Flame, where at the start of the psychic phase, if your army is Cabal of Sorcerers and the bearers on the battlefield, you generate an additional Cabal point, which is pretty cool. And then also you get an Aspiring Sorcerer as the leader for the unit. You take a couple of different weapons. You can obviously have the Warp Flamers, and you can even have a Warp Flame pistol on your Sergeant as well, which is pretty cool for putting down some nice sort of horde killing stuff with AP -2, damage 1 on both of them, and strength 3 on the pistol, strength 4. Both of them assault and pistol D6 shots. Now we've got the Chaos Rhino. I think it's just a good thing to have to potentially be transporting around your Space Marines. Chaos Rhinos are pretty decent. Going to just give you some additional sort of mobility with your army. Going to provide you with a Havoc Launcher and potentially a Combi Melter on there, which is going to have, you know, some decent sort of effectiveness on light arms, and the Combi Melter helping you deal with some of the more heavily armored units in the game. All in all, just it's there to transport around the Space Marines in the Rubric Marines. Lastly, we have a Zangor Shaman. For me, I just like adding the Zangor Shaman in. I think he's a cool addition for another character piece that sort of goes with all the Zangor you've got. And he does have some cool abilities. His Bestial Prophet aura, while the friendly Brayer and Lightened unit was within 6 inches of him, each time the model makes an attack, you can add one to the hit roll, so getting some bonuses on all of those Zangor you've got. And then he's also on a Zangor disc, so he's got a move characteristic of 12, and the Fly and Cavalry keywords does not have the Infantry keyword when he has this. You can take a variety of different psychic powers, which is nice, and he does add to all your Cabal points and stuff like that, which is really, really cool. But here we have our sample army list for the Thousand Suns. Now we've gone for the Cult Prophecy, which is just going to give us some additional sort of rerolls across the army in various different ways. I think it's just a nice, simple sort of one that just gives you some contingency and some backup sort of plans if things start going wrong. Now we've got our Infernal Master. He's going to have the spell, or the psychic powers rather, Blade of Maelstrom and Weaver of Fates, which is pretty cool. And he's also going to have our Relic. The reason why we've got the Relic on him is because the Sorcerer and Terminator armor is not going to get the most out of it being off the battlefield potentially for a little bit of the game while in Deep Strike. So Helmet of the Demon's Eye is each time your opponent uses a stratagem, if the bearer is on the battlefield, you roll a d6. On a 5+, you gain a command point. So really good to have him sort of sitting somewhere nice and safe and potentially gaining command points off your opponent actually using his own stratagems. We then have the Sorcerer and Terminator armor, who is going to be our Warlord. We've made him the Battle Psyker to get all those cool benefits. He's got Twist of Fate and Doombolt for some cool combat-focused powers. He then has Guided by Whispers as well, which is his Warlord trait, where once per turn, when the Warlord is selected as a target of a charge, before a charge roll is made, he can make a normal move of 6 inch, potentially pulling him out of charge range. He's then got an Inferno Combi Bolter as well. Now, troops-wise, we've gone with a unit of Rubric Marines. We've got the Icon of the Flame, the Aspiring Sorcerer in there. He's got Etheric Flux as his spell, and also got a Warp Flame pistol. What's really cool about Etheric Flux is it adds a strength to all Warp Flames, Warp Flame pistol, and heavy Warp Flamers in the unit. We then have 2 Warp Flamers in our unit of Rubric Marines. 2 units of Zangors with auto pistols and chainswords. We've got the Brayhorns and the Herd Banners in there. And then for elites, we've got our Scarab Occult Terminators. We've got the Hellfire Missile Rack in there on our Occult Sorcerer, who's going to have Temporal Surge as his psychic power. Temporal Surge is going to allow us to, if manifested, pick as Thousand Suns Infantry, Cavalry, or Beast unit within 6 inch, and we can make a normal move. Really cool for after we come down from reserve if need be, getting some extra movement if our opponent tries to move away from us, helping a slower unit get into what it needs to be. We then have the Terminator with heavy weapon, which is going to have the Soul Reaper cannon, and that rounds out that unit. And so then we've got our Zangor Shaman. Zangor Shaman has the Glamour of Tzeentch psychic power. I particularly like this one on the Zangor Shaman. It's going to put a -1 to hit one of the units of ours, which is pretty nice. It allows us to keep the Zangors in fighting longer. They're not necessarily the toughest things or got the best armor saves in the world with their 6-up saves, so putting a -1 to hit on them is pretty nice, making it harder for our opponents to take them off the table. Lastly, we have a Chaos Rhino with the Havoc Launcher Inferno Combi Motor on it. This is pretty cool. It allows us to get some extra damage into any sort of hordes that those Rubric Marines are going to go into, thanks to the Havoc Launcher having the blast roll, and the Combi Motors there just in case we need to get through a few extra points of damage onto a tougher target in support or whatever we need. Always nice just to have another melter in the army just in case. With all of that said, this is pretty nice. 8 Cabal points all up, 50 power level, which is, it just makes me happy that it's 50 power level, not 992 points. You can definitely probably throw in another Combi Melter on your Sorcerer and Terminator army if you really want to. But all in all, let us know how you've been going with Thousand Suns in Warhammer 40k. If you've been using them, if you've got this new box set, how would you use it if you're an experienced Thousand Sun player? Let us know down in the comments below. And so that is the end of the video. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment down below and let us know what you enjoyed about the video. If you'd like to come chat more with me and other members of our little community here at Sinful Gaming, we've got a link to our Discord server down in the video's description. And if you'd like to help support the channel in another way, you can do so either by joining Patreon or YouTube members, or purchasing something from our Ko-fi web store. All of them are linked in the video's description. Thank you all for everyone who chooses to help support the channel. As a special thank you to those people who have supported via Patreon and YouTube members, we'd like to give a special shout out to them all. So a shout out to our patrons Christian Weir, James, Soren, Greenskins Gaming, AJC, Kenny Lowe, Owler and Shop First, Andrew Bowen, Nathan Fee, The Rising Ape, Cure Dynamic, Agu, Anthony B, Anton Nielsen, JJ Austrian, Average Wargamer, Domir, Mark Harvey, James Cater, Dinah226, Derek, and GRP390. A special thank you to our YouTube members, Green Roots Gaming, Kenton Young, Chris Wallace, Ronya, Vinny, Lockloric, The Johnny84, David Ellsworth, Revenar, Wolfric Nick, Broken Chef, Ariana Edwards, Sean Scott, Pink Nico Fire, and Robin Mankiller as well. Lastly, a special shout out first of all to Lady Witchfox Art, who does all the amazing artwork for the channel you see, and to Xmorphic, who has done an amazing job at setting up our Discord server for her and making us have a nice place to content and to chat with all of our community. Thank you all for watching once again, everyone. Stay safe, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the grey. Ciao for now.